Eat your food, eat your food. A lot of you guys have been really bugging me on IG to start making YouTube videos, and I've been kind of holding off on that just because I feel really awkward talking to the camera. But today we're gonna try to change that. I'm gonna answer some of the questions that I haven't answered from you guys on IG, and hopefully the people over here on YouTube can get to know me a little better, because I don't think you guys have even heard my speaking voice. We're gonna be answering some questions, and we're also gonna be playing the hair challenge. I've already formed a strong attachment to this character. I've named her Bethany. Let's get started with the questions. I'm not sure if you've mentioned this already. Oh shit. Okay. I'm not sure if you've mentioned this already, but what inspired you to write Weed? So I wrote Weed about a guy that I had a crush on in high school. And we would like stare at each other in between classes in the hallways. First of all, I thought this kid was really into me, you know, because I think when you're in high school, like even like little stares mean so much. So I think I read a little too much into it, but I went to a school dance and I see him there with this girl, and she's like the most beautiful, most popular, most intelligent, like everybody loves her. He was dancing with another girl, and it wasn't me. And I was pretty upset about it. Yeah. So I was pretty devastated. I went home and I just stared at the wall for like 5 minutes. And then I picked up my songwriting notebook and I started writing the lyrics to Weed. It's not about weed, although it could be, if, I guess, I don't know. If you get rejected by a dealer, given a chance to talk to the young Miguel, what would you tell him? I guess I would say to my younger self to just kind of believe in your dreams and like don't sell yourself short. Because I was the kind of kid that would have a lot of dreams, but would always tell myself, oh, that's not gonna happen. I've always wanted to go to Rome, right? You know, because you'd have conversations with your friends, right? Like, what do you want to do with your life? Like, where do you want to go? Like, what's your dream vacation place? And I would say Rome. But then I would always like end it with, oh, that's never gonna happen. I would always do that to myself. And a friend in college made me realize that like, that's fucking scary. Like, he was like, Miguel, you scare the shit out of me because you don't dream. And it was the first time anybody had sort of pointed that out to me. And he was like, you should dream, because even if you like aim for the stars, you'll still land on the moon or something. And I know that sounds really corny, but it really helped me a lot at the time. And I think it was the first time that anybody outside of myself had really given me permission to dream. So yeah, that's what I would say to myself. What inspires you to create? What inspires you to create music or songs? By the way, you're super talented. Looking up to you. Thank you so much. Just life. I feel like, I know that sounds super boring, but it's really the truth. Like, I just try to live as much as possible and live as fully as I can so I can write about it. Yeah, I guess that's one of the good things about being brokenhearted and being a songwriter, is that it gives you a lot of shit to write about. Okay, Vicky is asking for life advice. How to move forward without the person who used to be your world. First of all, I think before anybody can be your world, you have to be your world. Does that make sense? Like, you have to be the number one person that shows up for yourself. You can't let anybody take that position for you, or you can't let anybody be more important to you in terms of building your self-esteem than yourself. Like, you have to be your number one cheerleader, no matter what position you're in, whether you're miserable, brokenhearted, or you're happy and you're in this perfect relationship. Like, it doesn't matter. You still have to be your number one advocate. You can't let, oh my God, Bethany, run. Okay. And another thing I'm thinking of just now is I feel like when you fall in love with somebody, you don't just fall in love with them because of who they are, you also fall in love with how they make you feel. So this person can make you feel loved, they can make you feel safe, and they can make you feel like you can be yourself. And if it gets to the point where you have to move on, like, they're probably not making you feel those things anymore, right? So if that's the case, if they're not making you feel safe, they're not making you feel loved, they're not making you feel like you can be yourself around them, then what's the point of staying in love with them? Move on. You have to move on, because a lot of the things that we look for in other people, we can actually do for ourselves. So when I was brokenhearted from my last relationship, everything that I wanted to hear from him, I started saying to myself, like shit, I love you, like, oh my god, you're the most beautiful person on the planet, like, all the shit I wanted to hear from this guy, I started saying that shit to myself. I started taking myself out on dates, I don't know, just fucking doing the shit that I wanted to do. And I think that's how you move forward. Who is the nicest contestant on Idol Philippines? Everybody's pretty nice, except for maybe a couple people that we are not going to talk about. But Zephanie's nice, Dan's nice. Maddie's one of my best friends. I like a lot of people from Idol. I just can't remember all of their names right now just because I'm really focused on making sure Bethany doesn't go bald. Because, you know, you can't be bald in this industry, man. You cannot. Bald is broke. How is life different after coming out publicly? So, for those of you guys who don't follow me on IG, I came out on IG last year in June. A lot of like the news outlets picked it up, and there were articles about me, and like it was on Twitter. People were talking about it on Twitter and Facebook, and like, you know, and it just became a bigger deal than I thought it would be, and the response was like insanely positive, which is amazing, right? But as far as like my life changing after coming out, I don't really feel like it's changed all that much, just because I've always been out to my family and my friends, and the people who've met me in real life all know that I'm gay. My whole social circle knows, and I just feel like after coming out on my Instagram, that circle is just bigger, so I can kind of be more of myself on IG, not just in terms of my sexuality, but also in terms of, you know, like my interests, my political opinions. I feel like I can be freer in a lot of ways. I'm really thankful that like the people who support me are just cool and like not lame about it, you know what I mean? It could have gone so wrong. I actually never asked my management for permission when I came out. I was just sort of like, I really need to come out. And I did. So thank God it, you know, worked out okay. Lauren is asking, Underneath the Stars or 4th of July? So those are Mariah Carey songs. Those are Mariah Carey songs. Underneath the Stars is one of my favorite songs, not just of Mariah Carey's, but of all time. I'd say that 4th of July, when it's July. What is happening to my voice? 4th of July when it's July, but then Underneath the Stars any time of the year. 4th of July is more seasonal for me because I have a lot of good memories associated with that song. And the 4th of July, which is Independence Day for the USA. John Megalo. John Megalo. How do you feed your creative mind? So I like to keep a list of on my notes app of things that I'm curious about. So for example, if after I record this video, I just get the random thought in my head that I want to learn how to build a rocket ship, I'm gonna write that down in my notes app. I'm gonna carve out 30 minutes of my day to learn about how to make a rocket ship. I just try to like feed my curiosity as much as possible, because I feel like when work on a creative project for too long, it starts to get boring, and once your mind gets bored with something, that's when it gets really hard to be creative. So I just try to keep my brain entertained and curious about the world, and I think that helps me be more creative. So I hope that helps. How is your ADHD? I told some of you guys on Insta that I got diagnosed with ADHD last year. I think I'm managing it pretty well. There's a lot of things I've discovered about how to make my ADHD work for me. So yeah, the ADHD is going well. I'm still figuring it out, and I feel like it's going to be a lifelong process of figuring it out. So thank you for the question. Jonathan Tiki, are you half Filipino? And how am I gonna fucking get past this? Okay. I'm one half Filipino, and I'm also one half Filipino. I'm full Filipino, but I get that a lot. Although I don't know why, because I've never gotten that living in the States. I've always been kind of, oh my God, she fell. She fell hard. Do you guys notice how like there's like strands of hair on her head, but then she has this like, she's like bald. She's like the fucking Avatar Yang Chen. Anyway, what's your biggest fear? I think I'm afraid of a lot of things, but to keep it light, I'm kind of scared of cockroaches still, but I'm slowly learning to get over my fear. So if I see a cockroach, I don't run away from it anymore. I just kind of test myself to see like how many seconds longer can I stay in the presence of this cockroach. Because sometimes they just chill, you know, they don't really want to bother you. But as soon as that shit starts flying, that's it for me. Paano niyo po nalalampasan ang mga pagsubok na dumadating sa buhay niyo? For those of you guys who don't speak Tagalog, that means how do you overcome the obstacles that come in your life? Every obstacle and every situation is different. The hardest things I've had to go through in my life that I survived have made me so strong. I always make sure to ask myself like, okay, what can I learn from this? What can I take away from this that I can carry into the next part of my life? I'd like to think that the hardship that we go through is supposed to prepare us for something. Yeah, but maybe there is no reason to anything. Maybe fucked up shit just happens and there's no purpose to it. But yeah, if there is a reason to it, I'd like to think that it's meant to prepare you for the next stage of your life. Marielle is asking, do you have a chance to be straight? One of my best friends in college, her name was Jordan. No, her twin was Jordan. She had an identical twin. Her name was Jamie. And she was this tall, Swedish, blonde chick with beautiful blue eyes. Super tall, like supermodel, like looks and everything. And we were best friends. And she was like, Miguel, I'm gonna try to turn you straight. So I was like, okay, go ahead, Jamie. And this girl like starts giving me a lap dance, like full on, like rubbing everything, like rubbing where it's supposed to be rubbed. And I didn't get a hard on, like not even like a tiny bit. You never know, right? You never know. Like I feel like sexuality is fluid. Yeah, I think that's all the questions that I want to answer today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below like what kind of other content you would want to see, because people have really been bugging me about posting on YouTube more. Last month I set up a Patreon account and it's been really fun. So if you guys are interested in supporting me on Patreon, make sure to check out the link in the description box too, because there's a bunch of really fun shit on there. And yeah, thank you guys so much, and see you guys again soon. Bye.